Hello, I think I have lowered the expectations quite successfully by saying that this is going to be very, very boring, and maybe it won't be, but at least I'm not making any promises. I am going to spend the next amount of time. Oh look, I am now live on my own channel. I don't need a notification about that. I'm going to spend this time looking at the situation that I've got into over the last few years. Is I've made a lot of bits of art, and where previously it was entirely for my own pleasure and occasionally as a present for someone, increasingly I'm doing it in a sort of vaguely semi-professional way. Well, no, professional, because I've illustrated books. And there we go. I'm trying to catch myself and catch up with myself and think about where am I. And one of the people who supports my projects reminded me that there's a way of thinking about this as, I'll probably get the words wrong. Flow is when you're just creating all the stuff, and then stock is all the stuff that you've got and trying to make sense of it and capture it and look at it and organize it. And so I may have got those terms wrong, and I think they come from Austin Kleon, the American writer and artist. Whoever they come from, I'm going to try to take stock in this video of some of the many bits of work that I've done, because it's become increasingly sort of necessary, actually. This is a little booklet that I made just this month, showing lots of pictures of this area where I live, Childs Hill, in northwest London. And I kind of deliberately make a thing about Childs Hill. A friend said, does it really exist? And I said, yeah, it does. I'm really trying to make Childs Hill into a thing. That there's a picture of my dog Peanut walking down a nice leafy alleyway in Childs Hill. Anyway, this little booklet, which I made and gave to my neighbours, it's got about 36 pages, and it's just such a headache to try. If you don't do this, you may not have the slightest idea how much of a headache it is to look through all of my photos, which are all stored in the cloud on my Apple iPhone and so on, and just to try to work out which ones actually are Childs Hill and where are they all. And I looked the other day, I think I've got about 50,000 photos or something. Crazy. I cannot imagine how that happened. Anyway, a certain number of those photos are the pictures that I used to get prints made, and so it would be nice to put some order on them. So what I'm going to do in this video, and if you have any questions or you just want to say hello or something, please leave a comment, because you might be thinking, why am I doing a live stream of something which I say is really boring? It's because I don't know why, but maybe I don't know. People talk about ADHD or something. I've not been diagnosed. I don't know what that means really. So, but I do find it quite hard sometimes to really concentrate, not just to keep on making stuff. So I thought I might find it easier to concentrate if I did a live stream, because I'd be slightly kind of like on stage, even if not many people ever watch, may or may not be watching now. I just want to go through some of these pictures and sort them out. So what I'm going to show you first of all is a video that I recorded about what I'm going to be doing. So what you can see on the right of this screen, I hope, are various pictures of Childs Hill, which this is like the backstage of my website. So this is my area on the website where I save all these bits and bobs. And I did a search, as you can see up on the very top right, for anything with the name Childs Hill. So there's a bit of a mix of things. It includes actual drawings, but it also includes a couple of photos and things from another project. This one right in the middle is a drawing I made on top of, let me see if I can open it, a drawing that I made on top of Google Street View. So it shows Adam and Eve being expelled from Childs Hill Park. Kind of meant to be mildly amusing. Anyway, there we are again with all the Charles Hill pictures. And what I'm going to try to do is, now that I've saved those ones, they're not so hard because I've actually saved them into this folder called Charles Hill on my website. And meanwhile, I have another place where I save all my art prints, and the high resolution images are on the server of the place where I go to get prints made. And that server, that company is called Creative Hub. I wonder if I can open their thing. No, I don't need to do that. Basically, they've got all sorts of pictures of mine, which is great. Yeah, happy about that. I'm aware that some people are watching, and so I'm really happy that you're watching. I'd love to make this useful as well as just getting on with my work. So if you do have any questions, do please let me know. Hello. So what am I going to do right now? I'm going to show you what happens when I sell someone a print, and I really love doing that, by the way. It makes me so happy. I want to show you a video of a picture I did yesterday. It's going to be for someone's Christmas present. They already know, so I'm not spoiling anything. This is an example of one of my records. That's not the video I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you, hang on, bear with me 1 second. The app on my phone does this rather brilliant thing. On my iPad, the app shows you what it shows you the process of my drawing. So this is one I did last night. It's a place where someone I know, mother, used to live there. So this is the finished picture, and if I press play, it should show you the whole thing, the process of the drawing. It's only about 1 minute. So I start with the background and the very loose shapes, and maybe do some lines on top. And as you can see, I mean, my lines are always pretty wonky, but they're particularly wonky at the beginning, and I like that. I don't want something to be too photographically precise, because then why not get a photo? I want it to have the energy of the drawing. I tend to draw from the back, so I'm imagining whatever is in the furthest distance. So the very dark background is my imagination showing me dark brown outer space. The next thing behind is the sky, then there's the building, then there's the skin of the building, the sort of layer of roof or cement rendering. Then what comes in front of that is the light shining on it, then there are the walls, then there are the leaves. So I'm trying to draw what's furthest away from me first, and then I come forward. So layers of light, leaves lying on the pavement at the end. That's just a quick talk through about my process. Now, where am I? Let's go back to where we were before. So that's just a picture I did last night, and I sent that video, not the picture. I've sent the picture to be printed. I sent the video to the person whose mother used to live there, and I think it's fair to say that she was extremely pleased. And so I was very pleased. I love it when people like the works that I've done. And because it's Christmas, I suppose I've been able to give and sell a large number of prints this week. Hooray! I really, really love doing that. And what I do, is actually provide, in addition, a document like this one. Not this actual one, that's for my own purposes. It's a record of who has bought what. But I'll show you what I want to do in the time coming. This time I am going to share a video that I recorded yesterday, but I've put on the same shirt and sweater, so it shouldn't look too different. Here goes. This is an example of one of my one of my records that I use to keep track of people who've bought my art. So here's one picture. This is Chlorine Gardens from Platts Lane, and it talks about what whether the product is signed or not signed or whatever. In this case, these are signed, so they're signed and dated on the front. What are they? They're G-clay prints of digital drawings. So I drew this on my iPad originally. So what is this thing that someone has bought? It's a G-clay print, which is a high quality, beautiful. Let me see if I can show one. No, you don't want to see that. You want to see this. Let me just zoom out and then make this bigger. So now zoom right out. Okay, that is, I think you can see really beautiful quality. The print quality, I think, is pretty amazing. You can't really see the colour because it's, here we are in an indoor room in winter, and the light is a bit yellow. You know, the whole of my face is a bit weird on this camera. It's very pink, and the room behind me is yellow, which it isn't really. See, normal. Got tons of these things lying around. Well, these on the wall are G-clay prints. Anyway, so that's what a G-clay print is. Let me just see if I can change the size of this again. New brownie. If I put it on the other camera, really save copies of these, one for each of the different drawings, so you can just about see here, I think it says buyer's portrait format. So if I want to change it, I just click on this and it says replace the image. So let's say I upload let's say I replace it with this one. There's a picture of M dancing, so we'll call it MS dancing competition. I think I call it dancing competition. So then buyers, oh my God. Okay, so now I can call that one 3 photos of D4J, because that is in fact what it is. So it's not, it would be A4 if I got it printed as A4, but I'm going to get these ones printed as A5, but it's a square image called regular folder, which should call it, oops, they call it that, change that to A5. So if and when anybody ever actually orders this one, certificate of authenticity, I've just downloaded a PDF version of it, so I can keep that, and then I'll keep all of these PDFs in a regular folder, which should allow me to get on top of this. Gosh, I hope so. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Goodbye. Not really goodbye, that was just me showing you the video I made yesterday. And so I've got this document open. This is a record of buyers, and I need to have, for every single picture that I've got, I need to have a document which is a record of who's bought it, with who it was and the date and what the price was, because sometimes I do things on a discount. And then also for every picture I need to have a almost identical document, which is going to be a record of a statement, a certificate of authenticity. So that's going to look like this, almost the same, but not quite. So this is what I send to people. I will sign it, and it will say that's what they've got. So this particular picture, someone on my street asked if they could have a copy of that. So that's at the printer today. I have to go and collect it. Oh gosh, I get really overwhelmed by this. So I have to work out, what am I doing? What am I doing? I've got in front of me some of these which I've done and printed out, and they are, at this point, all records of recent drawings, because I just did that. So the ones that I just showed you on that video, that's one of those. That was the certificate. There's the record of who's bought it. So I suppose I need to, so what I was doing actually up to now, just to show you the higgledy-piggledy way in which my process has been coming together, and I have to cover up the names. But previously I just used a certificate of authenticity and crossed it out and wrote record of buyers at the top. It's not good enough really, basically, it's the trouble. So I have to now sort out all the records of buyers, but also by what, I mean, I've got, like I said at the very beginning of this thing, I've got hundreds of, at least hundreds of pictures. And I'd like to be able to organise them in such a way that I could sell them more straightforwardly, and it wouldn't be this kind of total headache for me. Let me just hang on a second. I'm just gonna. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that right now. So I just went live to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop there. It would just be too mind-numbingly boring for me to go through every single one of these. But you get the picture. That's what I'm trying to do. Create certificates of authenticity and so what I've got is a note to go through them by category. So I've got all these pictures that I've done of Charles Hill. I could at least do those. Just do those. Just make a record of buyers and certificates of authenticity for all my Charles Hill pictures. That sounds simple enough, doesn't it? And then I can put them in a folder. I'm just talking to myself here basically, but thanks for listening. I know that there are people out there watching, and I'm grateful. I cannot imagine what you're getting from this, but I'm really grateful to have your possibly paying attention. Maybe you've just got it on in the background and you forgot. But anyway, it has given me a bit of a shove to make sure that I actually get on with this. So I'm going to make, because what I would typically do, and it would probably be a bit silly, is I would typically cut out the pictures and glue them onto certificates, because I just like gluing things and I don't really like working digitally in that way. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it properly by printing, etc. So thank you so much for watching. I'm going to get on with it now. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your upward thumb. Bye.